Going on, yo? I just wanna share a little bit with you. Just trying to see something for a second. Um, sometimes we get in these positions. We get in these positions, and we think that these positions uh, granted us certain things in the world, and then when you hearing people, you see this that's coming up in a certain way, kind of different than how you were taught. You see, we tend to bash these beings in their development. We laugh at them. We mock them. You see, the little bit that they have, and they're trying to use those things to show the people something, you see, and you steal it, you take it, you see, you destroy it, all these type things, you see. You see, but then when the beings, when they come and just kind of like they're actually ignoring you really, but when they come and then perfect their work that you can't touch, you see, when they perfect their work that you can't touch or you can't mimic, you see, when they come to perfect these things and put it in the atmosphere where it's supposed to be, you see, we tend to want to pray over the things that's happening, maybe to them, you see, or to other people. You see, we have a particular heart. We want to be humble to certain situations, you see. But when things come, you see, through the unseen, you see, you're not prepared for it because you congested with all this so-called knowledge down here in these books with these hooks and all these other type things. You see, you're not prepared. You don't have it in you, you see, to score these movements of those whom you say have power. You see, your power is binded right inside of this, from the beginning all the way to the end. That's where your power is. You see, that's where your power is. But you a different kind of people. You see, you a different kind of people. See, that power that's inside of that book, you see, it's trying to tell you something. You see, imagine you being that whole from Genesis all the way to Revelations. Imagine you being that. Imagine that's you. And they had to take you, bind you up in the book, you see, and separate their children, you see, multitudes of them, millions of them, and teach them, you see, everything that's written or revised from them, and teach their children everything that's inside of this book, and they gain in power from that book, from your essence. And you do the same thing that they've done to their own children. You following that law. There's nothing wrong with what they are doing. They're supposed to do exactly what they are doing, and God damn it, they did it, and they perfected that shit. And now look at you, look at where you are. You don't even know that that's you they're talking about inside of that book. You don't even know that that's you. You don't even know it. And the only thing that will seal that understanding up is that you get with each other. or try your best to unify with each other. And it's so damn hard to do because you engulfed inside the book. You see? It's telling you what to do and how to do it. It's, you people and the people in the, the people who follow the book, they use the word God. They don't use the supreme name. They use the word G-O-D. You see, they're talking about man. They're talking about man when they say G-O-D. You see, they're talking about man. Whatever continent you're from, that supreme being had a name based on how they felt it. You see, based on how they felt it. But over here, they say, F your feelings, F your emotions, F everything that the Most High put inside of you. You see, to feel, so he can feel himself. You see, so he can feel himself. You see, you want to be just like those infants that was on this train and that was taught what racism is and how you must be the dominant creatures on the planet. You are just like these beings. You see, these are your forefathers. Those those orphans that was on these trains, these are your forefathers. Even though you don't look like them, but that's who they are. You see, that's who they are. Because you're doing their will. You're doing their will to your own people. See, they took it, they said, fuck it, man, we got to find a way to not, bloodshed and things like that. You see, none of that, because we know who they are. So, listen, we got to find a way. We got to find a way to keep them low, but not like kill them and shit. We got to find a way, produce something, put them in jail, or do something. I don't know. We got to find a way, you see, because they keep on morphing, they keep on coming back. And we can't stop them. We can't stop it and shit. Because shit, if it does happen, somebody of another nationality, you see, might fall in love with somebody of another nationality, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and then all of a sudden, here come these Negroes again. You see, I'm just talking. You see, hey, people, they think like that. You see. We need a plan. We need a plan. So what they did, they educated you based on what they believe. They gave you definitions on things based on what they believe. You see? This is when you hearing people say, when they talk in this soft, gentle, and warm things, you see, now mind you, it's not nothing wrong with having a beautiful heart. There's nothing wrong with having a beautiful heart. But when you take yourself and then make it seem like that everything is supposed to be beautiful, but you, at the same time, you knowing what's been done on this planet to God's people, and through the Most High's people, you see, you knowing these things. But see, in the book, it says, that you're going to get caught up with these bodies. You see, those who kill with the sword shall die by the sword. You see? So while you're talking about peace, love, and gentleness, and then you holler out Jesus, I don't think you know who this Jesus is. You really don't know who this Jesus is. You see? Because see, when you find out who this Jesus is, then you'll be able to holler out Yahusha and go deeper and say Yahawashai. You see, but you're not nowhere near that yet. You can't be, because see, you will start getting your Asiatic tongue back. When you get this Asiatic tongue back, you see, you will start saying ah. You don't say it, everything could be ah, ga, ka, ta, ba. You see, these things will be calling upon you. It has that inside of it. But when you learn, this is why they say the man is the head. You see, it's for your protection, female. You see? When you reverse that order, you have the child and then you have the mother. So the mother is facing you, and the mother is teaching you what the Christ have taught the man. You see? Because he got to get out here and fix this deck and fix this porch and put these new gutters on the roof. You see? He got to do that. But you see, you are the first teacher, mama. You're the first teacher. You see, you're the first teacher. When the child gets older, if it's a boy, a male, you see, that's when the father grab up the child and say, give me that hammer over there. You see, give me that hammer and bring me about 4 studs. You see, listen, I'm trying to share something with you. Child, mother, father, and it's illumination. It's illumination that he receives from. You see? But if you ain't in that order, see, you go by the order, and then you take the order and you reverse the order so you can see it the other way. So you can see it. That's the way to see it. You see? But we don't want to do those things. You see, we don't want to do that. It's easy to do. It really is. It's easy to do. You see. But listen, my heart is so darn heavy. I have a beautiful heart. Golden heart. Only gave a percentage away, and that right there caused me to be in these type of positions. You see, when people will say all type of horrible things about you. You see, when you're in this transition, you see, it happens all the time. You trauma, you got mental problems. You're this, you're like that, you're like this, and they'll say all these type things. But at the same time. For myself, let's just say for myself, because they do me the same way. But at the same time, they looking at your stuff from a channel that's called Battlegrounds of Osada. It's like, okay, what would you think the Battlegrounds would be? What do you think? What do you think he's doing? He's right there doing with a gate open. You see, with a gate open, doing all these type things in front of you. And you don't even know it until it bores out into the atmosphere. Until it bores out into the atmosphere. You see? And then they'll say, oh, that don't mean shit. Oh, he ain't predicted nothing. I don't predict anything. I just do what I'm told to do. I don't say God told me this. I don't say God brought this to my spirit. I don't say that. I don't do any of those type things. You see, I wake up, you see, something put me down, I throw my head up like this, and then I hit my recorder and start talking. That's it. You see? Or when it's, if I'm pulled to go outside, I'll go outside and lift my camera up to the sky. You see? And lift my camera up to the sky. You see? I don't use anything inside of this cesspool of demonic entities. You see? Of demonic entities. You see? They always say, read the book. Read the book. Read this. See, you need to get into the book so you can know the Lord. And it's like they have no idea what I'm doing. They don't know what I'm doing because I'm not talking those things out. You see, you would think somebody would say, well, maybe he have a personal relationship. But they won't say that. They can't say it because I don't look like I have something. Because when you are like myself, they say, you can tell by the fruits that it bear. You see what I'm saying? By the fruits that it bear. You see? How do you know I'm not bearing vegetation? How do you know I'm not bearing water? Why gotta be fruit all the damn time? You see? All these people with fruit that's bearing all these fruit, most likely shitting on hella people because the fiber is high in the motherfucker inside of them. Those a lot of people that bear all this fruit, they full of shit. I know some of them are diarrhea and all this type of stuff, you see? And I'm not talking about everybody. So don't put your guards up and think I'm speaking about you, and then you come and then try to grab one of these crabs and then try to hit me with it and shit. Knowing you have family and children and people that you love and shit, and then you're going to come over here and try to harm me. I'm just saying, I'm literally here for you. I'm not supposed to be, people want me to be like everybody else. I got to come the way I was raised, kind of like. You see, I got to come how I am. I got to come like myself. You see, I didn't have your instructions. There was no mentor. The Bible said you're supposed to have a mentor or a preacher or somebody to teach you things. You see, it didn't say nothing. It didn't even say nothing about your father. It said a preacher or something. I think it did. You see, but I'm solo. You see, I'm solo. I was given these things, I guess, because I walked through this fire, and then from the fire, I saw myself walking through this forest. And from the forest, I saw myself walking inside of this ocean. Looking at my feet, trying to see if I got weight on my feet, but for some reason, I'm walking in the bottom of the ocean, but I'm breathing down there while I'm walking. Or unless I was seeing the congestion of the frequencies that's in the air and I thought it was water. Could be. Love y'all. In a minute. Yeah.